Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Nedarim, page 35, which poses the question: when it comes to the priests, the Kohen in the temple that does the service, that brings the various offerings and sacrifices, and they're doing it on my behalf as I'm a non-Kohen and he does it for me, the question is that person considered to be my agent? Is he considered to be my shliach? Or is it someone who is doing the agency of God himself? So what difference does that really make? Because after all, these sacrifices are still being brought and performed in the temple. So in this, the Talmud here discusses what happens if a person made a vow. And the vow was, I do not want to derive any benefit from this person. And this person happens to be a Kohen, and this person happens to be the Kohen that's serving in the temple. So the question is that individual allowed to bring various offerings on your behalf? So if you would say that this person, this Kohen, is doing your agency, he's doing your work, then it's a problem. He wouldn't be allowed to do so because you're deriving benefit from him directly. But if in fact he's disconnected from you, but rather he's doing the will of God, so even though it's true he's bringing sacrifices, and those sacrifices may in certain ways benefit from you, but he's not your agent. And therefore for that reason, you would be allowed to have this person bring sacrifices on your behalf. Now on this over here, the Talmud doesn't answer, but the Ran does give an answer and says that it has to be that this Kohen that's doing the service in the temple, it must be that he is not your agent. And the reason is, and this applies to American law as well, that the only way I can appoint you to do something on my behalf is if I, the principal, the person who's appointing you, have the same ability to do that action. For whatever reason, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to ask you to do something on my behalf. However, if for whatever reason I am not allowed to, legally, or for whatever reason, I'm incapable of doing this agency, this action myself, then legally I cannot appoint someone else to do it for me. It's only if I have the capability of doing it am I able to appoint someone else. And therefore, it's clear that this person cannot be your agent. Why? Because forget about the person who made the vow. In all circumstances, if you have a Kohen that is doing the service, and only a Kohen is allowed to do the service, I'm not a Kohen, I'm not a Levi, I'm a Yisrael. And because of that, in the times of the temple, was not allowed to go into many areas in the temple and bring many of the different sacrifices. So how was I able to achieve atonement and forgiveness? The Kohanim did it, and they did it for the sake of all the people. But the reality is, it cannot be that they are my agent or I am their agent. It can't be that way because I cannot do the service myself. And therefore it must be that a Kohen is actually considered to be the agent of the heavens, of God himself. But again, we see from here an important concept. And this is, again, in American law, that when it comes to if you want someone to do something for you, you also need to be able to have the ability to do it. And certainly when it comes to in life, you should try to take the stand to do whatever you want to do and not to pass the buck and have someone else do it. Now, perhaps the reason why you're doing that is because it's a cop-out that you don't really want to be able to do the hard work. In that situation, that doesn't work. If you're not able to do something, then you cannot appoint someone else to do it. In a situation where you have the ability to do it, and for whatever reason you just don't do it today, so you can appoint someone else to do this particular act. But it teaches us again this notion that you should be the one that has the fortitude and the drive and motivation and the desire to do the actions yourself. And only in a situation where you can do it, you can point someone else. But if you don't think you could do it, don't expect others to do it for you.